everyone, back with another episode of Stuff and Things, and welcome to the middle of nowhere. I know you can't really see outside right now, but there's a whole lot of nothing out there. There you go, how's that? Lots of nothing. So right now I am about smack dab in the middle of Kansas. I did leave Colorado very late last night, and I kind of need to give you guys an Instagram update on what I've been up to since yesterday. Like I say in every video, if you want to stay up to date with all this stuff, my travels, where I'm going, what I'm doing, follow me on Instagram. So yesterday was pretty eventful. It started with me waking up pretty early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, and then I went straight to Red Rocks Amphitheater. If you don't know, it is one of the most famous concert venues in the world. Pretty much everyone who is anyone has played a show at Red Rocks, and it's just historic. Unfortunately, on this trip to Colorado, there was really no one of interest to me that I wanted to see there, so I'll catch a show next time I'm out there. So I spent the morning there kind of hiking around in and outside of the actual amphitheater, and then I jumped over to the next little mountain ridge there called Dinosaur Ridge. Now, Dinosaur Ridge became an established point of interest in about 2002 because of all of the prehistoric fossils and dinosaurs found there. You could go on a self-guided tour, or you could just kind of see yourself around. So of course I pulled out the one wheel and I just kind of drove up the mountain on that. Along the way, there's a ton of placards letting you know kind of like what you're looking at, but probably the coolest thing was this right here. Straight up massive dinosaur footprints, like in the rock, millions and millions of years. So that was super cool to see. It's not very often you get to see things that old and you can actually touch some of the fossils and things like that there. And then for pretty much the rest of the day, as I was driving around Colorado, I was just like imagining being in Jurassic Park, just like looking out and seeing massive stegosauruses and like T-Rexes and velociraptors and stuff just like roaming the hills of Colorado. So that was kind of fun. Once I got to the top of Dinosaur Ridge, I picked up the one wheel and carried it on like a mini hike just up to the very top of the ridge, which was not paved. And then you had another good view of Red Rocks, so that was pretty cool. From there I went back down to the van and I decided to go to Spider Co. up in Golden, Colorado. Now I wasn't really sure what to expect up there. I knew it was where pretty much everything was made and they had a showroom. And I'm sorry to report, but it was pretty underwhelming. It was just like, I don't know, it was like a booth at SHOT Show or any kind of convention with Spider Co. knives in it. I didn't really talk to anyone. I did meet a fan outside, so you didn't tell me your name, but I appreciate you watching the videos. And since I was there and I've seen pictures of it before, I decided that I wanted to buy a knife, so I was looking for a para 3 lightweight. And of course, even at their own factory, they didn't have them. I had the chance to buy one at the outdoor retail show like last week sometime. My friend Mike, Last Line of Defense, he bought one. Probably should have bought it then, but I kind of wanted to buy one like at the factory just to have it for that sake. From there I went back down to Littleton, Colorado, had some lunch, and then right after that I pulled out the Inertian Raptor 2.1 and I decided I was just going to kind of skate around. I ended up finding a trail called the Bear Creek Trail. It started from wherever I was at, like Englewood, I guess. It was a super rad concrete trail and it ran forever. Instead of doing the whole top speed thing on the Raptor 2, I decided I was going to test the distance, and long story short, I ended up going a total distance of 21.64 miles or something like that. So that was really impressive, but at the same time, killer on the legs, riding a skateboard that is powered for that long when it's not that flexy. It was pretty interesting, but I will make a follow-up video on that in the future. And if you're ever in Colorado, I would recommend checking out that trail. It basically runs from like downtown Denver all the way down and then out east to some towns near the foothills, like before the Rockies start, but it was pretty cool. Rivers there, it was awesome. Then from there, I went to a place called Front Range Auto, where you may have seen my friend Mike get his truck wrapped in black multicam. We were there to film a couple things and of course make a collab video, so you guys will be seeing that here on the channel relatively soon. Their garage door was like 10 feet and the van with the AC is like 9 9'11", so it was a super tight squeeze, but we did manage to get it in there, and it was a good time. We wrapped up filming at about 10:30, and I still had some energy left, so I was like, well, I guess my job here in Colorado is kind of done. I could definitely spend more time here, but as the title of this video says, I have to head back east. I've got a ton of filming to do back home. I got guns and gear and more skateboards. I'm gonna have the most massive mail time video ever as soon as I get back. Two of my best friends are getting married, so you guys will see videos on both of those weddings, probably. Believe it or not, Rhodes is one of those friends. I got bachelor parties, I got all sorts of stuff going on. This weekend is actually my birthday, so right now, like I said, I'm in the middle of Kansas, and I'm heading back to Nashville, Tennessee, sort of as the halfway mark between Colorado and home in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna spend my birthday weekend in Nashville, and then after that, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going, but I will, of course, bring you guys along for the adventure. Now, this drive is going to be very boring for the next about 200 miles. So I guess I'll show you guys a little bit of it, but then I'll just start checking in whenever something relatively interesting happens. Alright, just stopped for fuel. I'm pretty tired, and it is 12:30, like noon Central Time. The reason I'm so tired is because when I left Colorado last night, it was about 10:30, and like I said, I had energy, so I just kind of drove until I got pretty tired. Pulled off in a rest area, and that's where I picked up this morning, in the middle of Kansas. No idea where I was. Speaking of that, I can show you guys some things that I've put in the van. Now, in the past, you may have seen some window shades like that go across the front and the sides. I now have this rig that holds my camera up here, so I don't like using them, and they're kind of clunky. They take up a lot of room in the back there. So I came up with this solution. Right here is a simple tension bar that I got at Walmart. You kind of screw it together until it's the right size, and then you squeeze it, stick it in there, and then it pops open. I have two blackout curtains on there. They are just like the cheap blackout curtains, but as you guys saw, they're super easy to bring down and put away. I can basically turn the van from being road ready with everything secure to like a livable type of area in about 30 seconds. I'll flip the chairs around, I'll pop the table up, and then sometimes I will either just drape those over the chairs if I'm going right to sleep like you saw this morning, or if I'm just gonna stay here and hang out, I'll kind of put them down behind the chairs. And then also at night, you can grab one of the sides and put it over here on this hook. Both of these windows back here already have privacy curtains, and in the back as well, so that is a kind of nice solution for the front here. Ugh, these fuel prices, man. Alright, got some watermelon, got some water. I think I'll be good to go for another couple 100 miles. Next stop will probably be St. Louis, Missouri. Alright, I'm somewhere just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm tired. Pretty damn tired. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. But first, I gotta get some food to wake up. Killing me, Smalls. Alright, so I got food in me and I got fuel in the van. how do I drive like this? I've been getting a lot of DMs, a lot of questions on videos. Yo, how do you stay awake when you're driving so far all the time? Last night, late at night, I drove 5 hours from Colorado to the middle of Kansas. Today so far, I've driven 7 hours and 38 minutes. I've got a little over 5 hours to go, about 350 miles, so I may be able to make it on this tank of fuel. I'm not exactly sure yet. And I'm working off of 4 hours of sleep. So how am I able to do trips like this in about 18 hours, or give or take, depending on how much I'm sleeping? Honestly, I'm not doing anything out of the normal. I'm not like ODing on caffeine or anything like that. Of course, I drink Strikeforce. If you guys see me wearing these shirts all the time, maybe you've tried it, maybe not. If you want to, I will leave a link in the description down below. It's good energy drink. You can mix it in water so you're not drinking a whole lot of sugar and stuff like that. But honestly, long road trips like this, to me, as long as I'm not sitting in traffic, it's kind of relaxing and I kind of gain energy from doing it. Now, when I get to Nashville, am I going to be tired? Hell yeah, I'm probably gonna sleep all through the night until like midday tomorrow. But as far as like my survival guide goes for long road trips like this, I'm kind of used to it. I'm just used to extended periods of driving. Driving really doesn't bother me. I kind of enjoy it. Caffeine is one thing. Obviously, you kind of want to have something to keep you stimulated and awake. If you're feeling tired on a long road trip, blasting the AC helps. Putting the windows down obviously helps. I'm not telling you guys anything that you don't know already. One thing that has made this trip so easy for me thus far are podcasts. Spotify is one thing. I listen to a lot of different music and I got a bunch of different playlists, but podcasts are the things that kind of, they make time pass a lot quicker than just listening to music. So far today, I've probably listened to like 6.5 podcasts, which are like an hour to an hour and a half long. Some of my favorites are Congratulations with Crystalia. I also listen to The Basement Yard a lot with Joe Santagato and his friend Danny. There's so many good podcasts out there. I typically like to listen to comedy stuff because it keeps me like thinking and awake and laughing, things like that. And when I listen to them an hour or an hour and a half at a time, it really makes time go by very quickly. I'm not looking at my phone a whole lot. I'm really not like trying to text or cruise social media or anything like that. Obviously that stuff is very dangerous. But yeah, good podcasts, a little bit of caffeine. Stopping for fuel and taking breaks whenever you're feeling tired is also a good help. But what it really comes down to is if you get extremely tired and you're on a long road trip, like I am on Interstate 70 right now, going all the way across the country, rest stops are super convenient, especially if you're traveling around in a van like this. Where you guys saw the video start today, I woke up at a rest stop and I simply pulled in at about 4:30 in the morning last night. They had a perfect little RV section where there were some other campers parked and some Class A's, like that big thing that just drove by. They're accessible to everyone. You can pull over and take a nap. You're not going to have any cops knocking on your door or anything like that. A lot of people typically look at rest areas as a place to kind of just stop, use the bathroom, maybe get some food or snacks, things like that, but use them to sleep. If you're feeling tired and you nod off, like even for a second, definitely pull over. Driving long distances like this, when you're by yourself, it can definitely be dangerous, but just be smart. There's really no tricks to it. I'm just kind of used to it, and I do it a lot. So I am about to be passing through St. Louis in the next couple of minutes, and then I'll be through Illinois, Kentucky, and then down into Tennessee, and I'll be home in Nashville. Well, not home, but I'll be at my destination. I'm hoping there's no traffic, and I hope the rest of this video stays pretty uneventful. I know it doesn't really make for good content, but I'm just trying to get to my destination. That way I can edit and upload a video that I have for this weekend, edit this video, and just kind of get back to work. So the next time I check in with you may be in Nashville. Oh man, well that's about it. 24 hours of driving on 4 hours of sleep and stopping for food and fuel and things like that, but finally went from Colorado, Denver, now to Nashville, Tennessee. I know this video was pretty uneventful, but that is kind of good for a road trip as long as you are going to your destination and you're not running into any problems. In the future, when I actually have time to get to my destination without having to worry about a time frame, I will be able to stop along the way and kind of show you guys some more cool sights and things like that. But for now, I'm going to go to sleep and then wake up and get to work in the morning. If you guys have any tips for long road trips, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always open to new things to keep me awake while driving. Also, if you listen to any podcasts or anything like that, maybe a Spotify playlist, let me know in the comments down below. All that stuff is appreciated, and if you are new to this channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every week. That's going to be all for today, so as always, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.